All right, 3, 2, 1, go. I wanna be the very best that no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. Pokemon,
That's
gotta
not how
catch
the song
up.
goes. You missed the verse.
Okay, Jay. All right. Want to start over? Where do we go from there?
Whatever. Let's just start.
I know it's my destiny, Pokemon. No. All right. Hello, everybody. We're here again to talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and the three people talking this time is me, Corbin, the main dude. We got Jaden here,
that's
secondary dude, and this time we have Taylor.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, he is.
So you can tell we really love this series by the fact we've come back 3 times to talk about it.
Oh boy, yeah. So Taylor was on us for the episode before the game's released, right?
Yes.
And the date this episode comes out, it'll be 2 weeks. 14 whole days since the game have released.
Yep. And one of my friends has already played about 80 hours on it.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about it. So I think that's a good place to start. How much of this game have each of us played? Taylor, you played the most, correct?
I think so. I've already beaten the entire story. I'm just trying to figure out how to get 6-star raids. I don't know how. I want them.
How many hours?
If I had to guess, like 50.
50?
All right.
Alright, Jaden, what about you?
My in-game time says right at, I think, 30 or 32, but I'm sure it's closer to 40.
And then my in-game time says about 28, but I'm pretty sure it's about, maybe 31.
Yeah. All right.
Right. These guys have played more than me. I played it on release date, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Right. So what are we really thinking on this game? I think that we all have that same opinion. Best Pokemon game ever, worst performance ever.
It's not the best Pokemon game ever. I think from a gameplay perspective, sure.
What do you think, Taylor?
In terms of the gimmick alone, terrestrialization, mid in terms of the gimmicks that have happened in the past few generations.
Yeah, I think it's pretty lame.
This is off on tangent, but I have to say, the raid battles in this game are really good.
They definitely took Sword and Shield's raids, which you basically had to be online to win, and revamped them entirely, and now you can actually play them without being on the internet.
Yeah, because Raids and Sword and Shield, it was like, alright, it's a race for, alright, who's gonna Dynamax your Pokemon first? And like the Dynamax animation was like really slow and clunky.
Yeah.
Right? And then just to get there. But like this game really feels like its raids are meant to be like fast in and out. It's got a timer, and like you don't get wiped out if all of your members die. If time runs out, you're done. Right?
Yeah.
It's not like in the other Pokemon games where it's like, alright, you've got 3 chances. If 3 of the Martin Solrock die, well, you're fucked.
God, Cosmic Power Solrock. I want to kill Martin right now.
But my main problem with it, though, is the timer. When you do it with moves that have a long animation, you're just killing time. And then when you add in stuff like status effects and all of these animations, I've noticed that as I've played Pokemon more, the battles are very clunky and slow unless you turn off the animations. And you can't do that.
Which is a problem because Scarlet and Violet doesn't have the option to turn off move animations anymore.
I wish they did.
Really? You can't?
No.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I think it's because that would make Terra battles so much easier. Because the moves consume time.
Well, if you remember in Sword and Shield, even if you have battle animations turned off, if you play online, they're on regardless.
Okay. Well, yeah.
That just seems like something. I mean, going back to like Digimon Survivors Channel, whatever it is here, it was a game that like really after a while the battles just became very repetitive, right? They're very good and strategic, right? But it's this thing where like I would often boost them up to like 2 times the speed, just so I didn't have to see all the characters walking and as slow as they would.
Yeah.
Right. But I guess thing like a lot of games suffer from in like a turn-based sense is battling.
Yeah,
right.
I feel like in the next generation, they may stray a little more from the turn-based. Kind of like how they did in Arceus.
But Arceus had a lot of turn-based points. I mean, this game has the same sort of thing that Arceus has with the Let's Go feature. Right? Because Arceus, granted in Arceus, you could send out all of your Pokemon to do stuff. In this game, you can't really camp. But same sort of difference there, right? And in Arceus, you'd run into a Pokemon to actually battle them. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I played Arceus.
And speaking of battling, what do y'all think of the difficulty of this game?
Like for playthroughs or post-game?
I think just throughout.
So let's talk about this. So right now, like I'm going through everything, And I've got this sort of playstyle where I just go around and do whatever I want, right?
Yeah.
Right now, like, I've got like 3 Pokemon on my team, which I caught before I should have been able to catch them. But I say won't obey me, right? That's my main problem here. Sort of like, it's great that's not linear, but I really wish it had that sort of thing that Arceus has, right? Arceus had this really interesting method of, all right, go out into the world, catch Pokemon, come back, and then you get your, like, bonuses, right? You can catch Pokemon up to this level now. They'll listen to you. Right? This game, you have to go after the gyms, and if you're not doing gyms and you catch Pokemon that are over-leveled, they're just not going to obey you until you get up to their level in gym badges.
Yeah.
Right? And that's my problem now, but it's not difficult. Me and my Pokemon are so over-leveled to where it literally just comes over and just murders the gym leader, and that's that.
Yeah, like I think last night I fought the psychic gym leader, who's supposed to be, according to Taylor, the last gym leader. Now, granted, I had a dark type Ponyard, but he one-shot the entire team. All 4 Pokemon. One-shot them. They didn't even get a chance to move. I lost 0 HP.
Yeah, that's with almost with all of the battles at this point. It's like, maybe the only ones I struggled on, like, I'm struggling more with wild Pokemon trying to catch them and do that than...
But you also don't have Ultra Balls and Quick Balls yet.
No, I don't have Ultra Balls and Quick Balls.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think that the open world is good, but you should have some kind of sense of direction. Because if you just wander randomly into a level 60 place, now you're kind of screwed unless you get out of there. You know, when you're not supposed to be there. And so there's a lot of times early game where I'd wander in the places I'm not supposed to be. But later in the game, I'm steamrolling level 5s and going to a gym where they have level 15 Pokemon. You know?
Yeah.
And so, while it is truly open world, I feel like there should be some sense of direction or incentive to go in a relative path.
No, it doesn't need that. It just needs level scaling.
Yeah, that's true.
Level scaling would be so great. So, like, okay, whenever all of your Pokemon are leveled, like, maybe, like, keep the starting areas and, like, most of the bottom of the map, like, level 15s to, like, maybe 30s, right? But then, like, everywhere else, like, the gyms especially. Like, okay, let's just say this gym leader has, but let's spoil a few Pokemon here. But what is it? The Nimbit.
Yeah.
Right?
Nimble.
Like grass, like the bug gym leader. They've got a Nimble and a Torrentula, right? Eventually, maybe like at level 40s, they switch that and it becomes a Low Kicks and a Spidops. Yeah. So, like, have like the Pokemon change in a way. Like, I know that would take more time to implement, and Pokemon really doesn't have time if they're going to get these games out on this 3-year schedule, like the Pokemon Company mandates, but it'd be helpful.
And that's my thing. I feel like, yeah, level scaling would help, but another way to do it is just if they had a guide that said this is the recommended gym path, you're free to go whichever way you want, just give you a relative idea of how to go, I think that would help.
They did kind of implement something like that because when you're at the Pokemon Center gas stations...
Yes, it does tell you.
They do tell you? Okay.
Yeah, you have a menu option to talk to the healer lady, and she will, like, give you a suggestion where to go next. You still don't have to follow that, but if you want guidance...
And it's also, like, all of your characters at the beginning all telling you, like, Pneumonia being like, hey, go out and go... Pneumonia. Oh, jeez. Pneumonia.
That's what I'm calling her Pneumonia now.
Pneumonia. Pneumonia. Yeah, so Pneumonia tells you to go west for the gym challenge and then Arvin's like, hey, go east for a Titans, right? That's a recommendation, but it really doesn't matter because all of that's the same area. And then literally, as you go up in the map, it just gets more difficult.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, all right, let's talk about Pokemon designs. I think this generation's pretty strong.
It's got 103 new Pokemon, which is big.
I don't think it's as good as Gen 8. I really like Gen 8's designs.
A couple
Gen
were
8
questionable, but
Gen
yes,
8 has some really good ones. But the ones that don't stand out in Gen 8, in my opinion, are so fucking forgettable.
Yes.
Do you guys remember Thievul and Nickit?
No.
Exactly. Nobody remembers those but me because I always remember them as 2 very forgettable Pokemon.
But they had iconic ones like Corviknight, Obstagoon, Phalanx, the best.
Okay.
And you also got like Orbeetle, Toxtricity.
Toxtricity, yeah.
Right? It's just really nice design.
And they had a lot of good forms like Galarian Weezing.
Yeah, this game doesn't have any forms really.
Yeah.
It just has Wooper.
And Toad's Cruel.
No, but no.
That's technically not Paldea and Tentacruel.
That's like Wiglet.
That's Convergent Evolution, that's right.
No, it's literally like Wiglet. It's a different species.
Yeah, I feel like they should have made it Paldea and Diglett.
Yeah, I really think they should have. Because
now we have Wug Trio. What the fuck is a Wug?
Oh, and did y'all realize this? There was no Meowth or Persian this generation. They've done it for the past 3.
Yes, there wasn't. Yeah, you're totally right, because we had a... What do you mean past 3?
Past 2. They did
Yeah,
one,
we did.
They did
We
one
had
for Gen 8 and Gen 7.
Yeah, we had Alolan and we had Galarian, right?
Mm.
One thing I'd really like to mention is I love to see, just like going around the world, how they shoved all of the Legends Arceus Pokemon that evolve in there, right? Like, you gotta have Avalugg, we gotta have Scyther, like, we gotta have Rufflet in here just so we can transfer them over.
I noticed that.
Right, and, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, like, up in the ice area, it's only, like, ice Pokemon that can spawn up there, right? So you gotta put almost all of them in. Like, we got Cryogonal back.
Cryogonal, yeah.
Cryogonal.
Good lord.
That thing...
That's a forgettable Pokemon. I
Gen
forgot
5,
that exists.
Gen 5 has some banger designs. Like, overall, Gen 5 has some really good ones.
Cryogonal was not one of them.
I think in Gen 5, it's either great design or terrible design. Like, the Elemental Monkeys fucking suck. But you've got things like Druddigan and, like, Reuniclus, which are just cool.
I mean, it's the same thing with, like, Gen 1. On one hand, you got Rapidash. On the other hand, you got Seal and Voltorb.
But I think Gen 1, is there like one design in Gen 1 you can look at and be like, hey, that's terrible,
Seal.
Objectively?
I would say Seal is terrible, and Dugong, both
Seal,
of them.
yeah.
And
Alright.
I personally don't think Voltorb's a very good design either.
Jinx.
Yeah, especially before the color change. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon's Pokemon. I think there are some really good designs in this overall. I mean, the one thing is, like, I'm seeing low kicks way too much everywhere up north.
He kind of looks like a Bionicle.
I
Bionicles were great.
I recently got to the area where you can find like Dragonite, Dragonair everywhere, and there's still low kicks like spawning regularly. I'm getting tired of it.
Jaden, you know what that means now? At some point, we need to do, like, because I don't know if you know, Bionicle has comics.
Yeah.
We're going to have to review the Bionicle comics someday.
But I think Fido is amazing, and I love how it evolves in a Dash Bun.
I don't really like Fido too much. Like, pure fairy type?
It's okay, but
I don't really like its design too much.
Come on, man. It's literally dough. What's not to
another
like?
fairy type you don't like apparently is Tinkaton.
It's a fine design. It's there.
But it has one of, if not the greatest typing in the game, Fairy Steel.
It's another one of those cases like Conkeldurr. Is every single one of them born with their hammer? Or, like, is every single one born with a steel beam?
No, they actually create their hammer. There's some interesting lore, like, Tinkaton's shiny. Only thing that's changed is the hammer. And the hammer is the same color as Corviknight. Because after it kills Corviknight, it uses its bones to make a new hammer. It's great.
Yeah.
I love shiny.
I also noticed how the shiny Magikarp in this game is now pure gold. It's not just yellow anymore. To represent the golden carp story or whatnot. And so they're really taking effort to make shinies a part of this game. And also they have like shinies battled on your card. Isn't that the first time they had something like that?
Yes.
But the shinies in this game, half of them suck.
I haven't seen many
Like
of
the
them.
new ones. Like, literally all of your starters are just a pale change. Right?
Essentially, yeah.
And then, like...
Skeledirge becomes pink, but that's about it.
Like really, it's... I think shiny should be like a polar opposite color.
Yeah, but were
like-
shinies in Gen 8 very good either? Inteleon turned pink, Rillaboom came lighter green, I guess Cinderace turned gray.
Which, Inteleon's was great. I loved Inteleon's personally.
But
Granted, I've never shiny hunted for anything.
yeah, I will try a shiny hunt for a Phalanx in this game. And
Shiny hunting is actually really easy in this game.
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, like literally once you beat the game and get the shiny charm and you get recipes unlocked, like fully.
Start making sandwiches.
Yeah, you just go around making sandwiches.
So speaking of which, I've actually caught 2 shinies so far. Pure odds, which is the first time I've ever done that.
Same here.
I've got a Greavard and I've got a Sinistee. Not a what's it called?
Authentic.
Authentic. Yeah, it was a fake.
Literally, I haven't found a shiny whatsoever.
What were my 2 shinies? Oh, Yungoos and Chansey.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
I got rolled.
Oh, man. You got the shiny Donald Trump? Whoa!
Yeah.
So speaking of sandwiches, what a stupid mechanic.
I mean, it's not the worst mechanic, but
Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but it for what it is trying to do, I mean, I think the camp in general is stupid.
I mean,
right?
I feel like it's the same thing with the curry and the poke puffs and all these friendship mechanics. I've never liked them.
Yeah, it's just like
If you want friendship, just level up.
exactly like and just walk around if your Pokemon out.
Yeah.
It's like I just really wish that these like mechanics, because like the sandwiches have some cool stuff. They've got like encounter power, catching power, a bunch of really interesting stuff in with them.
Sparkling power,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
increases your shiny chances.
But it's like we gotta make a sandwich to do that.
Yeah, and it's
but
they're all half-baked ideas, I think.
yeah,
They're more suited for like a cooking simulator, not Pokemon.
it's almost like you should just But it's like, how else would you do it? Do you just go and like buy sandwich parts and okay, eat a slice of cheese, you get this power up? I mean, it's just like, how else are they going to implement it? It's a very like difficult subject.
Consider this, take it out. Just not have it.
But
what would be the replacement?
I don't know.
but I think it's
And that would also get rid of 90% of the shops that just sell ingredients.
Oh,
yeah,
that-
shops in this game aren't good.
I mean, the worst thing is that the fashion of this game's terrible. You have to wear your school uniform.
until you beat the game.
Really.
I think once you beat the game, you get other clothing options unlocked.
Thank God. Okay.
Let's pray. I haven't come across it.
Because in Japanese culture, students wear their school uniforms literally everywhere. And so that's kind of the reason why.
Because, well, Pokemon for so long has had all these customization options.
Yeah.
It would be stupid if they just ripped them out here. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Like, whenever you beat your treasure hunt, you've graduated or some shit. I don't know.
I think
I'm
the
just
reason-
bullshitting all this.
I'm pretty sure the reason they did that is because they wanted to make everything gender agnostic.
Yeah, but I mean, still, like even in Gen 6, you can, or Gen 8, you can wear whatever. I mean, it's the same freaking character model. But
Yeah, probably.
it's whatever.
Yeah.
Or consider this, it's laziness. But if there's actually clothing options at the end, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
I would guess there is. I mean, isn't in like Gen 7 the most expensive thing you can buy is like 2 million Pokédollars on every single item?
Something like that, I think. Or I know it's in Gen 6.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's like the sad thing about these games is like you can buy like almost anything from anywhere, just sell it at the Pokemart.
Yeah.
I mean, really, just there, go to sell your evolution items, right? Like have them for tabs, right? And like just sell your sandwich pieces at one spot. But
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like some stuff like evolution stones and whatnot can be in an end-game area. But,
yeah. So what do we all want to talk about? I mean, cause
that's really all I have for me. I mean,
yeah, I mean, this was just an excuse to talk more about the game. You got anything you want to talk about, Taylor?
I mean, I'm just interested to see how the competitive scene is going to shake out because, like, the terrestrialization is going to make everything, like, near random, but there are going to be choices that people like more. I just want to dive into competitive a little bit. That's me.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, there's infinite options, but there's probably only a handful of good options. I mean, it's like playing the card game. There's so many good cards, but there's so many really good cards, you only play those.
Yeah.
You know, like the
Sure.
like TCG meta right now, it's 70% win rate for Lugia V-Star. That's ridiculous.
You know what I say to that? Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon,
Okay.
digital monsters,
Well,
Digimon
you just
are
lost
the
everybody.
champions.
You just lost everybody who may be watching this.
Burn a digital wow. Digimon, digital monster. Alright, never mind.
Okay.
Alright, we
Anyways,
started off this episode singing Pokemon into Digimon. Alright, guys, unless you two have anything else you want to say, I think we're signing out.
Yeah, that's all from me.
This is Glowplasma231 out.
This game sucks.
Jeez, Jaden, really? You had to say that after we stopped recording.
Yeah.
Alright, we're done. Okay, Glowplasma231 out.